All right, welcome back, traders. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. We're starting to see some very nice price action out of these altcoins. Ethereum kind of leading the show. Bitcoin kind of just meandering, consolidating up here, looking a bit weak. Obviously, we know what happens when the rotation is occurring. We spoke about this last stream that Bitcoin dominance is looking like it's going to break down here. Is continuing to do that. We actually just got our first weekly bearish engulfing candle on Bitcoin dominance since November of 24, which was our last kind of alt push in this market. But I think that this is a pattern completion that is coming to fruition here, right? You know, the 2-week bearish divergence, the 3-week bearish divergence, and the monthly now crossing down. Okay, so you got all the high time frame confirmations you guys need to have a high probability trade setup for an asset that looks like it's going down, right? And so this is not an asset, though. This is Bitcoin dominance. We want Bitcoin dominance to go down, as that is going to lead to the altcoin run that we've been ever so patiently waiting for. Beautiful. ETH Bitcoin, we called this bottom. Actually, we were pretty adamant that this was this hammer candle down here, initiating this change of trend here for the ETH Bitcoin ratio. And well, she's off to the races against the dollar. We can see that Ethereum has had quite a nice run so far from this low in April. Actually, we just closed a candle outside of the pennant. All right, we are coming into a big order block here of resistance. I wouldn't be surprised if we did get, some sort of back test or, a pullback at this level here before it actually breaks it. All right. Yeah, it's gone on quite a move here, right? From wick low to the high is up 177% since April. That's quite a move. It's quite a move there for ETH. So congratulations for all the ETH holders out there and the folks that have had conviction in holding Ethereum for this time, through this period of time. Yeah, I don't think that this is anywhere near done. If you zoom out to like the monthly time frame, you're just starting to break your monthly squeeze. We ticked up here on the wave trend. We got a confirmation signal. We're confirming a monthly buy signal right now on Ethereum. So to me, this just looks like it's about to break this pennant. And if you look at previous run-ups, the overbought indicator here that goes white like this, to me, this is what I'd be looking for this to be signaling maybe an end of a run or end of a cycle for Ethereum. We haven't even started printing any of those monthly overbought candles yet. So to me, this looks like, okay, maybe if we don't break out right here or something, we get a move and we come back down and make one more high or low or something. I'm not saying that's not a possibility to have happen. We may not just rip right out of here, okay? Whatever. But what I will say is that we're not extended on high time frames at all. So to me, that this run is just starting for Ethereum, and we will see some sort of move up like this, emulating what we've done in the past. Right? That makes the most sense to me. Looking at the high time frame. When we accomplish this, this could take some months, right? It took us 3 months to bottom out and start to get this reversal. So it could take another 3 months for this movement to really start becoming extended overbought. It depends how quickly this all kind of happens. If it doesn't happen quickly, then I think, the cycle could last longer, right? Listen, if it gets really overdone and explosive very quickly, that means the end, right? If if it's not so quick and it's more methodical and we end up pulling back here or something, we come back into the structure, maybe they bring it back down for one more low. I doubt that that's what's going to happen, but anything's possible. So if it does, get rejected here and we come back down to, like 2,400 or something, and we make another higher low, okay, then you can only imagine that that's going to take some more months for this thing to actually break out of its structure. But I think it's go time. Personally, I don't think that this is going to wait around any further. And that's kind of being depicted by the monthly momentum here. And the 3-week just giving you that cross. So I would say we're weeks away from this major breakout, it looks like to me. Okay. For Ethereum. And yeah, throw me your favorite altcoin. All right. They're probably all set up on the chart right now too. Okay. We'll take a look at Bitcoin too. You can see Bitcoin, obviously, pulling back a bit here. Not anything too crazy. Yeah, I mean, this weekly candle here, not the best close, not the worst close, but this is broken out. I wouldn't also be shocked to see a retest before higher, maybe into the end of the year there. That's where I think that we're going to get those type of moves. We could see more consolidation out of Bitcoin. And that's what we kind of want to see out of Bitcoin right at this stage of the market, because if we want altcoins to go, we want Bitcoin to go sideways and or consolidate and not be exploding, right? So this right here, this confirmation breakout was confirmation for the rotation into altcoins. That's what that, in my opinion, that's what that was, all right? So yeah, perfect. We actually tagged this Fibonacci level just above it. The next major Fib extension here for Bitcoin is around this $157,000 region. And again, let's go to the monthly time frame on Bitcoin. Beautiful, right? Monthly stochastic RSI cross up, confirmed. Our RSI here is sitting, sitting overbought 70, but Bitcoin typically becomes extremely overbought towards the end of a cycle. So to me, I'm actually looking at this trend line up here. Okay, it's very possible that Bitcoin ends the cycle somewhere around the 85 region, tagging that trend line. Okay, so I think we still got some time left to this run, and that's what I'm kind of seeing here on Bitcoin right now. All right, CRWV. Take a look at a core weave. Okay. Core weave, yeah, pulling back on the monthly here. It actually looks really bad. That is a reversal candle, looks like, in the making. I'm going to say it looks really bad. It went on a massive run. I mean, stuff like this, I wouldn't say you're in any sort of value areas here on this asset. It's also a rather new asset. I would like to see, a 382 fib extension. If this is just going to remain in a big, bull flag or, a big flag pattern consolidation, $100, see what kind of happens in this region. Wait for a double bottom, wait for that confirmation, or really just starting this DCA or scaling into this asset. No real data points on this aside from just up only. So not something I would be telling people to look into personally, but that's just me. For all the folks that took the BTCS trade, well, we gave that entry around, I want to say like $3. I mean, this thing blew out to like almost $9 a share the other day. Man, what a rip on this one. I don't think that this is done. I do think, however, we could be getting a bit of a pullback here. This 2-day candle, that is an inverted hammer candle. Okay, so what that could mean is back to the $4 region, back to this region here where you broke out from. You got a bit of a gap here to fill. You got a bit extended here on these 2-day time frames, but you can see that the squeeze broke, and you're in the expansion phase on this asset. Because if you look to like the monthly chart, you just broke the monthly squeeze as well. So I would say this is probably one of the first times in a very long time that this asset has broke its monthly squeeze. And if you look at the monthly RSI, well, it's sitting down here at a 35. I mean, it's got room on the high time frame to continue going later on. Okay, so yeah, maybe a pullback to like the $4 region, which could also mean that crypto market pulls back also, right? Just saying. Okay, Crow. Take a look at Crow. Very nice structure here along the bottom side of the upsloping, what looks to be like upsloping support. Okay. And yeah, you got your your resistance right here, this trend line. I would say once you break that, you're going to be marking up pretty nicely. Yeah, this structure is about a 600% measured move on a break. Okay, so that should take you pretty much back to the all-time high or close to it on Crow. Again, with the monthly stochastic RSI crossing up, your MACD crossing up, it's all looking really good on high time frames, guys. Okay, but don't get caught up in the daily price action so much. You can pay attention to these weekly closes because that's important. So bullish engulfing candle here. If we do get a pullback, you're looking like tagging maybe 10, 11 cents. The neckline break there. That's a pretty big region that you broke through. Okay. I've been looking at Galaxy Digital because they own the most ETH out of any public company right now. QT hasn't ended. No, it has not. No. This also looks kind of extended, like on the 3-day time frame as well. But I like what I'm seeing here. You guys see this? It's like the start of a parabola structure. So I would be, if I was looking for an entry on this, which I am actually looking. I'm looking for any sort of pullback on this. That'd be really great to see. Maybe a retest of this neckline or something. Give me something, man. Yeah, the daily RSI is already in the moon, so I'm probably not going to buy this anytime soon. But if it does pull back and I do get a reset, then we'll consider. What chart I really did like was Bit Digital. Okay, Bit Digital, they just rolled all of their Bitcoin into ETH. And again, the monthly time frames on this look pretty juicy, man. This looks really nice for a major breakout. All right, you are up against trendline resistance, and you are towards the top of a range here. So I will be looking for, some sort of pullback. You're at this neckline. If you don't break it, you're going to pull back. And, maybe you go and gap fill like 290 or something and pull back next week. Just tag it. That would be probably a good entry point to get in this before it goes nuts. I'm thinking that's probably going to do something like that. With ETH continuing its rally, right? So these are all leveraged stocks here on ETH performance. So if you don't own ETH, you can always own an asset that does own ETH. I don't know why this one's on my list. Do these guys own any ETH or something? I think they do. That's why I was looking at it. Yeah. Well, let's see how this one plays out. This one looks also interesting here with the higher lows on the weekly like that. You guys tell me what's up, man. How's your guys' weekend going? Any other assets you guys want to look at? Like I said, I think we could see maybe some drawdowns potentially this next couple days. Everything's pretty extended. Tether at or close to a bottom of a range here. We haven't tagged support. We don't have a weekly, a weekly counter trend long. Those are usually pretty spot on. So we don't have that yet. That means we maybe could still see some continuation. It's probably not going to be a significant drawdown, no, but there probably will be a bit of pullbacks happening here. Okay. I feel like everyone's super bullish right now on the market. We are coming into some support. Does XRP still have room to run? Let's go look at my handy dandy chart that I made about a couple years ago on it. It's always fun doing this. All right, the XRP pennant that I made a chart of in July of 2022. I had a $24 swing target on it. This was posted 3 years ago when the price was 35 cents. Nice. Push the play button. Okay. It went sideways a bit out of this structure, but it basically stayed in that. I would say it stayed in that structure, pretty close to it. So yeah, I would say that the swing target is still 24 bucks on XRP, XRP. You'll have some in-between targets there from like 8 to 12. Okay. If it doesn't make it to that fib extension, which I think it will. That's your XRP. Cool. That's pretty much it. All the blue chips look decent. We can look at PTGC, sure. That's on Pulse Chain, right? Yeah, okay. Weekly bullish engulfing. Coming out of this bottom base here. Let's see. Looks pretty strong on the weekly time frame here. You got momentum still on the weekly. That looks pretty good. 2 week in the buy zone. It hasn't given you a confirmation yet, but you can see the MACD crossing up, looking pretty good. Where is it going? Yeah, that's a good question, right? So 1, 2, 3. Probably a fifth wave up to a penny, maybe. So it looks like just straight up Elliott wave, 5 waves. Yeah, looks like it could maybe do that. It's another 20x from here. Sounds about right. Cool. PTGC looks pretty good. Yep, double bottom there on the weekly time frame. Polygon. I haven't looked at Polygon in quite some time. It's Matic, right? Let's see what that chart looks like. Yeesh. Matic looks pretty beat up, man. This could potentially be its low. Problem is you don't really, you're in like no man's land down here. There's no real support looking left, Yeah, I mean, you're trying to base out down here. You can see the curvature down. That's capitulation, like that. It's under POL now. Okay. Let's see. It's the same chart though. It's 24 cents. So this has all the data though. I'm going to use Matic chart for the data on this. Yeah, so I mean, you got like some sort of flag or some sort of like wedge pattern here in development. You're not clipping yet on the monthly, but you might as well be very close to doing that. The 3 week clips here. Okay, yeah, so this is probably the low for Matic. And it'll probably just trade in this channel until it ends up breaking out of it, right? Yeah. The swing targets on something like this is, your flagpole, and extrapolate that pretty much. May not do that whole move, but you never really know until you see. I don't think it's going to 20 bucks, man. That'd be insane. But reactive network token. Yeah, we can look at it, dude. One second. I would say if this is the low, get some in between fib targets there. Yeah, like $6-7 makes some sense once you start breaking the top of the range there. Log scale. Still a massive trade, 30x potential trade on this. Okay. But I don't know what they're doing. I know TVL on Matic is way down. But it looks like good value here. If Matic is doing stuff, that's good. All right. Okay. We'll look at reactive network token. Guys, tips are appreciated, by the way. I know I don't typically ask for them because I don't really care that much, but I've been doing this for a long time, and a lot of you folks have been tuned in. I appreciate you guys continuing to tune in, but if someone tips and someone else tips, it's nice gestures. Tips are always fun, especially if you got some real value out of this stuff. I appreciate that. I don't know who I'm impacting with these live streams. People rewatch these streams all the time. The fact that you guys are on the stream is great, and I appreciate it. There's some YouTubers that charge $20 just to look at a chart. Just saying. Yes, please do not forget to like and subscribe as well if you are new to the channel. This looks like a potential descending broadening formation on this coin. It is broken out on the weekly. If we are going to pull back, I would say that the 5-cent region here looks likely. About half this candle. Retest that for the week, and then maybe the following week you get a continuation. There's not a lot of data on this coin. I assume that this is the coin, right? React. This is it. React network token. Yeah. Looks good. Looks like the daily RSI is, in the 70 region. It could continue higher. It could go to the 80s, 90s. This is where you do get parabolic moves on assets like this. On really any asset. Above the 70 line is like you can go parabolic. Okay. So like I said, if you do get a pullback, it would be a quick one. It'd be a nice retest here before probably launching out of there. I don't know what this coin does. It doesn't really matter. What really matters is what the chart is saying. The 2-day time frame and the 3-day time frame here is just going into like the major bullish control zone. So yeah, it does look like this is breaking its 3-day squeeze, which is good. Your MACD is going bullish on the MACD, so looks strong. Looks strong. Hey man, appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. All right. Yeah, this does look pretty good. I wouldn't want to be buying it here, though, personally. I would have much rather, bought somewhere down the bottom of the range. You can risk manage a lot easier down here. Maybe wait for a pullback or some sideways to catch the next wave. Then you can risk manage this level as your new support. Okay. But yeah, I mean, shorter term time frame swing target would be the top of the range, 14 cents. All right. If you do break that, well, all we can really go by is Fibonacci levels after something like that. So like if you do break 26, you'd be looking at, 56, as a first major level, and so on up to the golden mean ratio. Okay. Cool. Interesting chart. Not a lot of data, though. TradFi is opening. Well, I mean, futures are up 0.1%. Gold up a little bit. Really, you guys want to really pay attention to the gold copper ratio. We discussed this in a previous stream. But this ratio, I think, is really going to kind of mark when the market cycles are topped out. We're still down here. We've still got lots of room to run, in my book, in my opinion. Okay. The last time it was bottomed out like this was in May of 2020, and that's when we got the run after COVID. Okay. And that took about, took about a year. I think May of 21 was like the end of the real cycle, even though that Bitcoin made that retest, but that was really the top. We made a top, we pulled back, and we got the double top, and never really protruded after that. So that took about a year to do. And I would say we bottomed here in May. So if we follow the same trajectory, it would be like May of 26 or something. But it could accelerate and be a lot quicker. It just depends on how fast this ends up really going against gold. All right. So something to consider. I'm not saying you guys shouldn't be taking profits on these high risk, cryptos, man. But like, your Bitcoin or your ETH or something that you want to hold long term, I don't see a problem with that as much. There's still going to be drawdowns. There's always drawdowns after major moves. That's just how markets work. So if you can stomach that and round trip on gains and stuff like that and not care about it, that's perfectly fine. So super cycle, that's what that would be, into May or June of 26. If this takes a full year to do this move, we don't know how long it's going to take. But just projecting based off the last time it did something like that, it took about a year from low to high. All right. And you can see that the monthly is only just now crossing up and giving you the buy signal, copper to gold ratio. We're going to print the ISM here. The new ISM reading will come out the end of the month. We're still in a bear market, technically. 49 on the 49 on the reading. It does look like it's going to tick up, and the 52 level is where we really start an altcoin run. Okay, even though it looks like it's already starting, so it's being front run. It's being front run. Okay. Your total 3 is, coming into this resistance here. Beautiful candle right now on the monthly chart. It looks like it wants to break out of there. All right. Monthly crossing up. You got room here on the bands. Yeah, it just looks like it's ready to go. MACD crossing up beautifully. We got some time left to this month, but to me, if we don't break it this month and we get a resting bar candle next month, it'll be the preceding month after that, So it just depends on when this starts to go. And to me, like, even here, we had these overbought candles. We tagged top of the range, pulled back. This is the real run when we get something like this, when they're just overbought for months at a time like this. That is the real run we're looking for. And that could be what's coming next, okay? We haven't really started the alt run yet, in my book, in my opinion, I should say. But it looks like it's starting. Looks like it's the beginning of it. All right. Pay attention to the altcoin, the Bitcoin dominance chart. And so that's basically the crux of it. All right. It could really start to accelerate in the next couple months, I think. And that's why and when people will probably start paying attention to crypto. Especially with all this stablecoin regulation coming in. So, should be an interesting next 6 months. It looks like 5-6 months. These high time frame charts take time to play out, guys. Remember that. Okay, we're looking at a monthly chart. We had the monthly down here. This was January of 22, and we only started really topping out in June of 25. That took almost 3 years for Bitcoin dominance to top out. All right. Well, I'm not saying it's going to take 3 years for it to bottom out, okay? Because usually going down is a lot quicker than going up. All right, but yeah, this could take about 6 months, maybe a year, to get back down to the 48% level here. All right, something to be aware of. I guess I lost some people here. People are bored of the content here. That's fine. This stuff is boring. Most people don't like looking at charts. For all you pulse chain people, let's take a look at Wrap Bitcoin. Made a nice move today. All right. What I wanted to do is actually look at it versus Ethereum. That was what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Because we know Ethereum is going to start leading the show. Okay. So Wrap Bitcoin versus ETH. I want to see how this is going to perform against ETH. All right. Looks decent, actually, against ETH. Cool. So this is looking bullish against ETH. It's looking bullish against actual Bitcoin. So this is an asset that might continue to outperform the majors, which is what you want. Nice. It's broken out, back tested. Looks like it's going to maybe continue its move here against ETH, right? With the daily giving you that buy signal, right? Looks pretty strong. I don't know why that went away. That sucks. Okay, nice. Yep. So the Bitcoin ETH ratio looks pretty bullish for Wrap Bitcoin. There's 2 people on the stream. Well, fair enough. I'm going to, I guess I'm going to cut the stream. People are bored. If you're still here, man, post something in the chat. Yeah, we can look at Pepe. Obviously a strong meme coin, right? It's been around for a bit. Yeah, it looks like a baby, dude. Zoom out on that thing. I think it looks fine. Monthly crossing up here. Looks good. High time frame looks good. Something like this. Big move coming in the coming months for Pepe, for sure. Looks good. Cool. Listen, guys, if the charts look like shit, I would tell you they look like shit. They all look ready to rock on the high time frames. And then that's all you really need to know. Where are you going to be in 6 months on your assets? Are they going to be higher or are they going to be lower? They look like they're going to go a lot higher. Okay? So just chill out. Go touch some grass for a bit. Pepe looks like an ascending triangle in the making, or maybe a channel of sorts. I don't know if I have all the data here on this thing, but yeah, it's just it's just respecting this channel. So like I would say its next major move on a breakout is probably, a big move, like 300 something %. And then maybe, you get one of these, a pullback, a retest, a continuation, just depends how long this market cycle goes and altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin and we get that rotation, which looks like we're getting right now. All right. Looks like we're on the cusp of major movements in this market. So just chill, man. That's it. There's nothing to really do. If you're already in, you're way ahead of the curve. If you're just getting in, well, try to find an asset that hasn't really moved much to try to capture some value. So I was giving Compound, the major DeFi protocol Compound here. You can see a nice base form down here. I don't think it's too late to jump in something like this. Not financial advice. But look, it's based out down here. You got a nice range that it's in. You got a monthly stochastic RSI crossing up. It looks like it's about to do something like this. At least go to the top of the range. If you end up breaking it, because it would be the third attempt on breaking it, okay, this would be something like this. You can look at Palantir, sure. It's very overbought on the monthly. It's in price discovery. Not something I'd be wanting to enter personally. But that doesn't mean it can't continue higher. It can if the whole market's going to continue higher. This would probably be the area where I'd want to be selling Palantir, truthfully. Look at your monthly RSI. It's at a 95, dude. Okay. Sure. You have no reversal candle on the monthly or no real reason to sell just yet. But if you were buying it down here at $6 a share, well, you're way in the money and it's probably not a bad time to sell that stuff. Because at the end of the day, sure, it could break this. And sure, it could double up from here. It can do all that. Not saying it can't. But I wouldn't be surprised if you did get a pretty major pullback on it before it does something like that. And then you make bearish divergence on your monthly RSI. And that's what would produce a higher high on price with that divergence. It's a very strong uptrend. Okay. I have nothing bad to say about this chart other than it looks pretty heated. It looks pretty heated. All right. Yeah. Nice looking chart. Very nice. I have nothing bad to say about it. AOE. Sure. AOE. Is that a crypto? I don't know what AOE is, man. Maybe clarify that a little bit more, man. I don't know what AOE is. So we'll get back to AOEs. We'll wait for that gentleman to clarify. Yeah, sure. We'll look at strikes. I don't think much has changed on this chart. Yeah, I mean, you're just down here at the bottom, dude. You know, rectangle, rectangular bottoms. Usually these are what they look like before major markups, stuff like that. Nothing has changed since last week, really. You put a bullish engulfing candle in. That's the monthly chart. Sorry. So yeah, you've respected the bottom of this range. You've rallied off of this bottom here. Fear and greed. We'll take a look at. Sure. We can look at the Binance one. That's fine. 68. We're not in the crazy part of greed yet. Like if we're really in the euphoria stage, we're in the 80s, 90s, I would say, from past experience. But yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Remember, this is an institution-led rally. This isn't retail in this market right now. So that's it. It's just patience, man. It's just more patience. Institutions don't like buying high, man. They're going to create a dip to buy is what they're going to do. So if they want to buy more, they're probably going to bring it down and buy more. Yeah, exactly. Patience. Yep, 100%. For all you meme coin lovers, I was looking at this one. It's a low cap. It's on Binance Smart Chain. It's called Cat Coin. This double bottom broke the channel. This looks very interesting. You're clipping here on the weekly here. You know, I'm not a big fan of memes, but this is a very, very, very nice structure. This could probably do some crazy movements later on. Maybe once BNB breaks out. Yeah, we'll look at Altcoin, sure. This coin's wrecked. 100% wrecked. Yeah, Altcoin. You know, if we're going to see these alts push, this is pretty low risk, I would say. It's very low risk down here. Probably not a bad long-term place to buy it. Not financial advice. You're starting to maybe tick up here on the monthly. Not confirmed yet, but starting to look. It looks that way. Your monthly RSI is in the dumps, 34. Your weekly RSI here, looking like it wants to cross into the bullish control zone. So that's good. This looks like it might have some room to run. Your weekly is in a squeeze, giving you a bullish cross. Yeah, you could be seeing, you know, $1.05 here pretty soon. You could just candle right to it or break it, given there's demand for Altcoin. Okay, it looks good. It all points up. It's looking all in the right direction for upside on Altcoin. Man, what a boring market it's been. I got to say, this is probably one of the most boring cycles I've ever been participating in. I got to say, guys. But it's really a true test of patience. So just continue to have it. When you get red days or red weeks, knowing the market structure that you're in with some of those assets, and you know that we're seeing a rotation right now, those could be good buying opportunities, depending on what it is, where it's at, all that fun stuff. So just look at any dips that you get on some of the majors. Like I would say really the L1s is probably what you should be focused on right now, because once E starts to go, that's when like all the major L1s go. Like look at Cardano, for example. Okay. Cardano technically looks great, right? You have the low here, a higher low, a third higher low. You got 3 rising valleys. That's a very nice structure. And yeah, the top of the range here is $1.16. You break that, you're going to probably see $3 after something like that. And then, after that's price discovery. So you're still in value. I would still say you're in value areas here on something like Cardano. Yeah, I mean, the weekly, look at the weekly, man. You got that nice bull div on the stochastic RSI. That's implying a major move up. You broke the weekly squeeze. So, yeah, I mean, we could be like fluttering around here for the next couple days or whatever, high like the daily time frames and stuff, maybe overbought. We get some retests and then just probably continuations is what I'm alluding to here. No, we don't have any weekly counter trends coming in telling you to get the F out of the market yet. So if we do get those are times where you want to be taking profits because we will get some drawdowns. Okay. High time frame, like monthly chart here on Tether, dominance is pointing straight down. We have bearish divergence that's confirming on Tether dominance. That should really tell you that you should be positioned for risk on right now. Okay. Not financial advice, but that's what this is. That is what this is telling you. Okay. All right. I've babbled on here for about 47 minutes and got a couple tips. I appreciate those tips, guys. If you're new to the channel or new to the community, make sure you guys join the Discord. There's lots of value there. There's plenty of folks that are, on this stream right now that could probably tell you those things. I'm not here to shill or really make, any sort of anything off any of this stuff. I enjoy doing it. I've been doing it for years. I do charge some small fee to join my Discord and be part of that. But it's like if I gave it away for free, people wouldn't appreciate it. It's like if you had a free gym membership, would you really take advantage of it as intently as you should? Probably not. So it's the same kind of concept for what I do here on the chart. I know there's plenty of other people that do the same things. But I feel like some folks, do it differently than I do. I look at a very long-term approach on this stuff, as lots of people don't like to look at charts every day. And the people that do like to look at charts every day, we have some guys that post, day trades and stuff like that. So you can take advantage of that. All right. So again, appreciate all you guys tuning in. We go live every Sunday, no matter what kind of market condition we're in. Like I said, we've been doing this since 2018, since we started Swing Trade Pros. And we do have like a bundle of indicator suites that we do sell. I give trade calls, manual trade calls for those folks that aren't interested in, looking at charts and they just want to know, hey, can I buy this and hold it? Or can I buy this and sell it? When do I sell it? What do I do? Stuff like that. All right. So again, appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next week. And hopefully we see some more nice price action. All right. That's always fun to wake up to some green. All right, guys. Until next week, catch you guys soon. Make sure to stay patient, guys. Staying patient is the key here. All right. Have a great week, everybody.